If you want to live a life others won't be able to live, then you have to do such work that others won't be able to do. That means if you want to have the financial, location, time freedom, you need to get used to working without looking at the clock. Okay, good morning ladies and gentlemen, 4:43 a.m. And to be honest with you, 4:44 a.m. alarm, as always. To be honest with you, I really did not want to wake up today. I'm pretty energetic right now, but the moment I was waking up, I was not energetic at all. I went to bed at like 11 last night. I was on a call. The call got much longer than I expected, and I went to bed at like 11, and now waking up at like 4:44 is probably not healthy because you can only get like 5.5 hours of sleep. It's not healthy, but it is what I have to do to keep the discipline up, and it is what I have to do to, like, regardless of my emotion, keep working hard towards my goals. All right, so let's get started with the day. We are awake, we're woken up, let's get started. Hey, my name is Ahmed Khan. I'm a student entrepreneur building his business while studying at Ludwig Maximilian University, living in the lovely city of Munich in Germany. Right now, I'm gonna hop on the first deep work session of the day, which is going to be dedicated towards the BOOM high performance training program. That's what I'm focusing on the most nowadays. So let's get into that, and I'll see you guys 2 hours later. Let's go.
In my opinion, there's 3 main skills in business in general. You gotta learn how to sell, you gotta learn how to build, you gotta learn how to lead. So you gotta learn how to get people to give you money for stuff. You gotta have the stuff to sell them, and then you gotta have people that work on your side to help deliver on those other 2. If you can do those 3 things, you're unstoppable.
Okay, for the break, we got some fresh air for a couple of minutes, and it's around 7 a.m. So let's get into the second deep work session of the day. And when this is done, the sun will be up, as well as we have had an incredibly productive morning, even though we didn't really want to wake up. Like, I just didn't really want to wake up early in the morning, but we did it anyways, right? That's the hard part. Let's go.
If you haven't gotten what you want, then you're not worthy of it, period. And that's okay. Now you can admit that you suck and improve. Better to know you're bad for a season than pretend you're good for a lifetime. You're not making as much money as you want because you're not as good as you think you are.
If you're a student entrepreneur and you want to double your productivity while growing your business, I would love to help you do that, my friend. From the first link in the description, you can book a one-on-one call with me, and I will help you double your productivity and shave off 20 hours of your week and help you grow your business, my friend. The thing is, every time I do this, every time I make this like CTA, the spots fill up so fast, you gotta act fast. Currently, we're only working with people from US, Canada, UK, Europe, and Australia. So if you're a student entrepreneur from one of those countries and you want to double your productivity and grow your online business, reach out to me. I'm gonna help you, my friend. Let's go! When people see my morning routine and they see that I wake up extremely early, generally at 4:44 a.m. every single day, they have some questions in their minds. And these questions are generally 2 questions. Number 1, why the fuck do you do that? And number 2, how do you do that consistently? Now, I believe that the reason why people ask me, why do you wake up at 4:44 a.m. every single day, is because they have the perception that it's difficult, it's painful to do that. Especially on a winter day when the bed is so cozy and the outside is so cold. Yes, I agree, it is pretty difficult, pretty painful to do that. And the simple answer I have for these people is that the pain, for me at least, the pain of me not achieving my goals is substantially bigger than the pain that I feel when waking up early. That's why I pick the pain of waking up early, so that I'm not going to experience the pain of not achieving my goals. Here is what I've realized after logically looking at my life and looking at my productivity. I've realized that every single day, pretty much every single day where I woke up before 6 a.m. was much more productive than every single day where I woke up after like 9 a.m. And after looking at this, I had to make a logical conclusion. Also, let me give you 2 more things that I realized. Every single evening, where I just even for 5 minutes sit down and plan a rough plan for the next day, that day when I plan is much better than when I don't plan. So it's a very high ROI activity. You sit down and plan for 5 minutes, the next day becomes so much better. And the third thing is, when I wake up, if I just do a big work session for like 2-3 hours first thing in the morning, versus a day where I just wake up and get my phone on my hands, just scroll for half an hour, those 2 days, extremely different in terms of productivity. So how do you become a high performer? The answer is very simple. You look at your life and you know your life much better than I know your life. You know your life so much better, and you know with data how you can be productive. For me, I know that if I wake up early and if I don't check my phone in the morning and then I do a 2-3 hour deep work session, that's gonna put off as the best start for me for my day. So high performance is not really about knowing the most, knowing the best high performance strategies. No, it's basically understanding the fundamentals and then utilizing those fundamentals in your life. I ask myself this question: what is the thing that I'm never going to negotiate in my life? And that thing that I'm never going to negotiate in my life is my goals. My goals are non-negotiable, they cannot be discussed. And other things, for example, my sleep schedule, my diet, if I hang out with people in the evening or not, these are all negotiable. Like, I can negotiate with these. And I made the negotiation and I told myself going to a date after 9 p.m. or, for example, staying up late to watch the Euros, the football game after 9 p.m. is not as important to me as my goals. Thus, I'm gonna go to bed at 9 p.m. and then wake up extremely early so that I can focus on my goals. And when I say this to you, is you can realize this is extremely simple. It's just that we're not doing the basics. So this question should determine how your productivity looks. And the question is this: what is one thing that you can do in your life that makes achieving your goals much, much easier? And that activity itself can be a difficult activity, but through that activity, achieving your goals become easier. And for me, it was waking up early. If I woke up early, I had much more time in a day that I could focus because I knew that I wasn't focusing on anything after 9 p.m. On top of it, that time, people wouldn't disturb me. No one is calling, no one is emailing, no one is texting, no posts on social media, so I could just go all in. And number 3, when you wake up early in the morning, you actually don't want to procrastinate. You're like in this mode: if I woke up either I'm just gonna go back to sleep or I'm just gonna do something productive. Because if I'm not gonna do something productive, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. So if I'm awake, that means I'm doing something productive. And the last thing, and the most important thing in my eyes, is when you wake up extremely early, you know that the people you're competing against, your competition, is not awake yet. So you have this feeling where you know your competition is actually sleeping and you're doing your work. And that's the best feeling in the world. So this is exactly why I wake up at 4:44 a.m. Now, the big daddy question: how do I wake up at 4:44 a.m.? How do I wake up before 5? And the answer to that question is going to be extremely simple. My friends, waking up at 5 a.m. and earlier than that, around that time, has nothing to do with specifically waking up at that time. If someone is telling you, oh, after you wake up, make sure to put your phone into across the room so you can go and take it, or download this app that scans QRs for you so you can wake up. No, that's all bullshit. The only thing you have to focus on is going to bed at a reasonable time so you can get your good 8 hours of sleep. Because if you think sleep is not important, then you're missing the point. You're missing the point of productivity. You need a good night of sleep so that you can focus, as well as so that you can think clearly and make good decisions. So right now I'm going to tell you 2-3 things that I do to be able to wake up at 5 a.m. But as I said before, these things have nothing to do with waking up at 5 a.m. These things are all about how can I go to bed at 9 p.m. so that I can wake up at 5 a.m. So, number 1, I take pretty much naps on a daily basis around 10, 11 a.m. early in the morning after I waking up at 5 a.m. But I never take a nap after 1 p.m. If 1 p.m. is passed, I'm never going to take a nap. Number 2, and arguably the most important one, I have a hard stop to my day. And what that means is it's 9 p.m. an alarm is set at 9 p.m. And when I hear that alarm at 9 p.m., there are only 2 activities I can take. Either I can brush my teeth or I can plan my next day and I go to sleep. I don't look at my phone, I don't look at any work, I don't check my emails, I don't do the last small tasks that are left, because I know that if I do them, I'm gonna stay up late until 10:30. Then tomorrow, I'm probably not gonna be as energetic as I wanna be. And my priority is to be able to be fully recovered the next day. And the third thing is I front load my work so that I can get done 1 week's worth of work that my old version, my 15, 16-year-old version used to do until 12, until noon. And what that means is in the past, I was this very unproductive, very not focused guy. And thus, I would do a few hours of shallow work a day. And that means after 1 week ended, I actually wouldn't get done something substantial. And thus, I changed my identity now, and my goal is every single day to get more work done than my past self would have gotten in a week, but to do that until noon, until 1 p.m. So these are the 3 things that I do consistently to be able to wake up early.